In this recording, Toteras takes a more personal approach, discussing death and immortality, the professional thieves who've come to America, and the necessity of betrayal and duplicity in modern times.
Hey man, everybody's touting this technological immortality thing. These people are going around. I showed you one of those flyers, but it's everywhere now. Somehow meta-programming your brain cells to accept immortality. It's a mad, wild thing.
Oh yeah, people want immortality, man.
They do.
They need immortality. Who in the hell wants to be told he's gonna fucking die? I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to know that. I mean, you're sitting over here. No matter how life is still good. Life is still sweet. And you're sitting around doing shit, and you're still thinking. You see people are dying in these fucking hospitals, man. They hang on to life like it was the most precious commodity in the world. My mother's hanging on to life like it's, she's never. She really is, man.
What kind of life does she have? It's a life of machines and moment to moment and injection to injection.
They hang on to fucking life. That's the way human beings are. That's why there's so many of us. Because you hang on to life to the last very second, and you can't escape what's going to come. But they sell it. They sell it. People are looking for that immortality, and these cryogenics they have. They have now this new putting immortality into your cells. There's a lot of activity toward immortality. There's always have been. Well, they promised immortality in the church, didn't they? Spiritual immortality.
Spiritual.
Yeah,
These
right.
people are promising or seeking physical immortality.
Well, physical only in the fact that the soul needs a body to walk in. You know? I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same activity that they're having. Immortality. People want to live forever. It sounds awful, to have to die. But then again, where were you at when all this was happening in history? I mean, where were you at? When I was alive, you weren't around. You weren't even a possibility. I mean, and all of a sudden you came to be, and then that kid of yours came to be. And where was everything at before you came to be? All of a sudden you feel like this consciousness. You've been conscious all your life,
I do, man. I feel like I've always been here, been conscious.
Yeah, you've always been here.
All the way through.
But, right. And then when you leave, you just never know the difference, I guess. It's something so easy that everybody's doing it. Everybody's done it. Nobody seems to have escaped it. So it must be something very simple. It can't be very complicated. There's nothing you have to learn or...
Even if it comes violently or unexpected.
It doesn't really make any difference because how violently or whatever it comes, it's still, there's no memory of it, I mean, when you're gone, you're gone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's no memory of it. You don't have any memory of the awfulness. You finally die.
Then why are we so afraid of dying?
Because we've been promised life. We've been promised it. We need it. Who in the hell was telling me yesterday? Oh, yesterday, the nurse of the nephrology was telling me. She said that, this is interesting. She said that at Hahnemann University, Hahnemann Hospital, they were selling the body parts to the highest bidders from Europe.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
The body. There's a hot new movie called Body Parts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you fucking A, man. I mean, you're talking about a different world altogether.
Yeah, right. Man.
You're not talking about the same world anymore because we can do different things now. You can't very well have the same kind of world when the things that you can do are so different than what they did. The things that we can do nowadays are so different than what they could do in them days, and it's ridiculous to require that we have the same view toward the world as they did in the past. Man was really so definitely limited in the past. As to now, he can move a whole mountain. He can fill in a valley with a mountain. He can change the course of rivers. He can do everything. He can do so much that he's actually destroying the earth. That's how much he can do.
Yeah, right.
But he does it so big, it's like Paul Bunyan taking a walk through a rose garden. I mean, his steps, even though how careful he is, his steps are so big, and they smash everything. You have to be little to live with something to make it big, and now we've become bigger than the world is. We are bigger than the world. We can destroy the world. We can make it so nothing can live on it. And then what? We have now the attitude that we'd like to live somewhere else, leave this place and go some other planet and live where it's clean.
Yeah, right.
And they've already, littered the skies with junk. They said there's thousands of pieces of junk up there. That it's becoming very dangerous to even fly through it. A big belt of obsolete flying saucers and, obsolete spacecraft that they leave up there. I saw two of them the other night. I saw two satellites.
Is that right?
Yeah, they look like stars, but they really move fast. Two of them. One was going this way, another one was coming that way. You could see the little bastards, They glow from the sun. And this is our world now, man. We can't change our. So we're having as an objective, modern man wants, even though he's living in a very insecure world, he wants even more assurity now than he ever did before, because the assurity is not spread out over a 35, 40-year period. The assurity is compressed into a 1 year or a 2-year contract, employment contract. It's compressed, man. You can see ball players now. They don't want this horse shit. Oh, you're for the love of the game. Yeah, they love the game, but they want to get paid too, They're not going to let, like they did in the old days, let the owners of the ballpark make all the money. They want some of that money too. And let the owner make $100,000 a year. That's enough. Why should he have to make millions? Hmm? Like Kaminsky and Kaminsky Park in Chicago. I mean, this guy exploited ball players. He gave him $50 a week. I mean, he made a fortune. They named after the ballpark after him in Chicago. And so all of a sudden, the ball players, the world's been compressed. I mean, one ball player he's good only for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years at the very most. If he doesn't make it in them 4 or 5 years, when's he going to make it? After he's not a ball player anymore, what does he do? Wash dishes? It's like that with everybody. It's not just the ball players. It's like that with everybody. If you see sports getting like that, you know damn well that even the lowest at the lowest levels, they're thinking in the same terms. Everybody knows today that there's no permanency into anything at all. There's no permanency into the association between man and woman. There's no permanency between employer and employee. There's no permanency between principal and agent. There's no permanency, period. And they find means of getting rid of one or the other. Whomever gets rid of him, whomever, one or the other, something takes place. What is it that takes place? Everything is compressed in time. So you have the objective is what? What's the objective of modern man's objective? I mean, what is modern man's objective? If modern man's objective is what? I mean, he definitely must have some objective. I mean, somebody have to have some objective to endure the present? The word goes, it all depends as to your reference, how you endure the present. I mean, if you're enduring the present because something better is going to happen to you today, you endure the present with a frame of reference that has a lot of hope seasoned in it, right? So the next move that you make, right? A lot of hope seasoning by, what's that seasoning company? The problem of modern man is not the same as the problem of the man in the past. The man in the past looked for a permanent situation on earth, even though he knew his stay here was impermanent. He knew his stay was here transitory, but he knew that he had a purpose to life, and that purpose was, no matter what, that was his purpose in life. He was content with his purpose. Today, the purposes in life aren't defined as well. Some parts of the world they are. You're born poor, you stay poor. But in a society that moves around quickly, being born poor doesn't necessarily mean you're going to stay poor. I mean, you have a shot, if nothing more, at least at crime. You can't have good criminals in a country that doesn't have any money at all. What are you going to steal, Chicken shit, you're going to steal an egg and get hung for stealing an egg. You want to steal something more than an egg. So you come to the United States and steal. Some of the best crooks in the world, their greatest dream is to come to the United States. To be able to steal amongst that where there's plenty to steal from. I mean, you know, making the heist of a guy in a broad daylight. You pull out his wallet. He's got credit cards. They're worth some money. He's got something. You've made your day's wages in 5 minutes. The other guy's out there working 8, 10 hours a day trying to make ends meet. What makes him stay honest? He's too scared to be dishonest. He doesn't want to get caught. The other guy's aggressive. He's aggressive. He moves out. His objective in life is to make the quick buck right now.
Right.
He pulls out his gun. He walks up to the guy and puts the gun in his ribs. He says, "Give me your wallet or your life." Takes his wallet. Keep walking. Don't turn around. He made himself a couple of bucks. 2 guys that day. He's going to live good for a week maybe. He's always dreaming that he's going to find that guy who's got $1,000 in his back pocket. He keeps dreaming about that. You know, like professional thieves, they walk around, but they don't see the same thing you see. They see a guy carrying a package. They follow him. They wait for the next day to see if he shows up. That's how they find their crimes. They look around, and they see something. Then they follow that something. They might not hit it today. They look at it to see what it does. Does it do it tomorrow? What's he got in that briefcase? They keep looking. They find out where he comes from with that briefcase. They finally deduce that in that briefcase might be money. The Jews downtown, they used to use a Greek priest. His name was Petropoulos, to carry their bank notes around. Nobody would think that the priest was carrying, in his valise, he was carrying a couple of $1 million. And they would use a priest to do it. Better than an armored car. Deception, right? Deception. It didn't cost as much. Deception didn't cost as much. People carrying diamonds, man, they carry diamonds in their pockets. The biggest diamond trading in the world takes place in these people's pockets.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Jews in New York, man, they've got that sewed up.
They carry them in their pockets?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, wrapped up in a cloth. Oh, yeah, what do you think they're going to, who are you going to get to collect it? Who are you going to get to collect it? How are you going to get somebody to carry diamonds for you? You got to pay them a lot of money. Carry it myself. So crooks come here. People who want to make a quick buck come here. It's the best place in the world to make a quick change. Like, I find nothing wrong with modern man or modern woman. It's just that they think there's something wrong with them, right? They really do. They think there's something wrong with them. But what's really wrong with them, they just won't admit to the fucking fact that they are self-interest people. They're always trying to make it look like it's your interest at hand, but it's not, because under examination it doesn't work out. Somebody starts saying something doesn't make sense. I mean, modern man is really not in the collective sense. He's in the self-interest sense. He's in a short-term sense. He's in that kind of sense that he doesn't look for tomorrow. He looks for today. He doesn't bother with the past. Therefore, you have no way of judging what the present is like because you don't look at the past. I mean, nobody is studying anything that has to do with the past other than the Dow Jones or what they sold stocks for last week.
Right.
They're not looking at it as anything else. So it's very difficult to contain an ethos where fucking there's only today, no yesterday. There's only today and almost here tomorrow. So you need a purpose, man. That Tad Baker's thing needs a purpose.
What I was saying earlier was the attempt to make sense out of. We're on the journey to.
It needs to be comprehensible to the person who's listening. The minute you make it incomprehensible to him, you lost the cocksucker.
Yeah, right. It's got to be working.
Look at that fucker, boy. He's boogieing and boogieing.
Oh, he dances and plays, throws the ball. Guy's got a beautiful life, man. He really does.
Look, he's in ecstasy.
Sure is. They love that freedom of being able to make their own decisions.
They're having fun. They enjoy themselves, man.
They sure do.
They've been here playing now a couple hours.
Yeah.
And look at them. They haven't stopped. What is the objective of Tad's Men's Club? To bring to you people that you're not going to find in the newspaper. To bring to you people that you're not going to hear on the radio. To bring to you people that outside.
To bring to you people that you don't. Uh-huh.
We got to send that shit to Joe Bob Briggs, man.
What's that?
That outline that we have, that all the whatchamacallits.
Oh, our ad? He gets one. Oh, yeah, I'm going to send him a package.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When we're in there, man, when we're in there, you know, when we're in there, the whole performance depends on the whole performance don't depend on it, but the introduction of the performance
It's crucial. No, it is
It's-
crucial to
yeah.
set up the monolith.
because it sets forward the motion that's going to take place, right?
Yeah. From that type of introduction to bring you people who you can't get anywhere else but here.
Oh yeah. Come on, give it here. Send it to me.
Go to him. Sugar. Good.
How old is he now?
He'll be 2 September 9th.
September he'll be 2 years old.
Yeah.
Jesus. He's fucking brand new, man.
Yeah, he is.
I was brand new like that too. It's funny how you fucking are little and all of a sudden you grow old.
But like you said earlier, it feels like you've always been here.
Yeah. Just like you've had a fucking life that lasted forever. And you know, like you start thinking that you've been around since the time of Rome or what have you not. But for the millions of fucking years that our ancestors were here and we weren't. You know, man has been fucking evolving for the last 10 million years, you know. It's not like he just popped up yesterday. He's not Paleolithic and Neolithic, man. There was one before him, you know.
And one before that.
Right. They fucking tell you about the missing link like it was just one fucking link that was missing instead of a fucking whole chain. It's amazing the amount of fucking loot that's been made on giving various explanations about our presence here.
Yes.
The fucking best one, man, was the Chariot of the Gods.
Von Daniken?
That was a mind fuck of the first order. He solved the problem between creation and evolution. He just had him come here by spaceship. And he went in a fucking library and he did some research work.
Yeah.
And he found places in the fucking world.
He tapped authority figures.
That's right.
validated him.
That's right. In places like that land, what he said was a landing field up in Peru. Just made it up what he wanted to, like it came off the logarithmic wheels. Just made it up. Now that's the kind of stuff that's interesting, you know. I mean, how the world even survives with all that shit that's around it. Because as it got bigger, as the world got bigger, as its communities got bigger, so the propensity for bullshit even got bigger. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know, man, do you know that the Armada, the Spanish Armada of 1588, that the first failure of it was that the guy who was selected to be the admiral wrote a letter to fucking King Philip and he said, hey man, don't make me an admiral. I know nothing about the sea. I can't stand boats. I get seasick even just looking at them. He says, you need somebody who at least has gotten to the point where he doesn't get seasick, right? And Philip II, he appointed him as Lord Admiral. And according to estimates, the Navy logs that were written then by the captains of the ship, it ended up out of 25,000 sailors, 17,000 of them were absolutely sick through the whole voyage to England.
Jesus.
I mean, the guy told the king, I'm not the man for the job. Now, everybody that's got the job today is not the man for the job, you know. Like in the Army, cooks are sent to motor schools. And guys that were mechanic on the outside, because they took an aptitude test, they sent them to cook schools. Instead of sending the cooks to cooks and mechanics to mechanics. They jumble it up, right? Because they believe the measurements. Like Philip believed his evaluation of somebody far more than a person's own evaluation of himself. So if I thought something about somebody and that person told me I can't do that, would I buy into him? But modern man doesn't tell you he can't do that.
No, he just tells you what he can do.
That's right. In his resume, he tells you who he is and the things he can do for you. So there's that fucking shift you see of intent by modern man. Modern man can't really be honest in that sense. Like we have a whole series to go on the tapes now of the honest man, the man of I wanted to do them, but I wanted to get today the purpose of the fucking of the whatchamacallit, so we can add the arguments of honesty to that. Right? Like I finished with all the virtue parts. And I want to work out all the arguments of honesty.
Excellent. Oh.
The honest man.
Oh, man.
But we need the arguments of the whatchamacallit.
Of the impresario. Right.
Huh?
The arguments of the impresario. The arguments of the presentation.
Yeah, it should be self-evident what your objective is, isn't it?
Presenting people that you can't get anywhere else.
That's one of its attempts. Perverts. Presenting perverts. That's one of its attempts for sure. Well, watch this. Like this was an industrialized nation, and all of a sudden it's not an industrialized nation anymore. It's something else. They calls itself now a service economy, but I mean that's just horse shit. They're not servicing anything. Yeah. You can't even get service at the fucking Shell station. Yeah. So what's service? But what it is that there's such a layoff of people, such a changeover, a historical changeover from one thing to another, that it seems like there's a lot of redundant people laying around. So amongst these redundant people, a whole new philosophy is going to be developed. Totally. I mean, what that philosophy is going to be, what viewpoint it's going to be. I'm talking about a philosophy. Why people don't like to think it's a philosophy, it's like saying a new language will be created. And it's not a new language, it's just another possibility of another view that you can't see today. Can't see it because you can see now that the genders have learned how to have ecstasy amongst themselves without intermingling. Like women can have ecstasy just with themselves, and men can too.
Yes.
These bathhouses were just,
Oh yeah, man.
and now women are developing their own goddamn ecstasy. And it might be now that women start thinking that they can't get AIDS between each other because of the way they would have sex. It might be, who knows? It might be another thought that here's a way to have sex and not catch AIDS. It must be that women are tapping into something in each other that they could never tap into with men. You know, within a woman too, I mean, for her to be involved with a man, there must be a sense of wanting to be dominated in her. Because a male is dominant to begin with. He's aggressive. His natural disposition is like that. So when she gets involved with a male, she must want to be dominated to some extent.
Yes, right.
I mean, the male gets on top of her, right? The male is pushing her into the positions he wants.
Right, and she knows that.
Yeah, she goes along with it. It seems like she gets a great pleasure out of going along with it. Like the more desirous he is of her, the more stimulating it is to her to be wanted. I went to get a job at Pacific Bell, and the guy said, well, the guy was interviewing me, he said, well, what department do you want to work in? You know, work in this department, that department. I said, no, I really don't. And he says, well, what do we have then that would interest you? I said, your job. I want to sit in a chair over there and ask people, questions and shit like that. And he saw that I wanted his work. I could get aggressive. I wouldn't know how to get aggressive. Like, being aggressive is very important, and knowing how to be aggressive. Like, certain people, when they get aggressive, they look stupid. They look like they're having a tantrum. Right? The real smooth guy, when he's getting aggressive, he's got a toothpick in his fucking mouth and he's twirling it around real soft, right? Or another guy might... In the days where cigarette smoking was healthy, it lended to your personality, because you could take a hit on the smoke and, finish the guy off, right? But aggression has its own beauty to it if you know how to do it. Somebody like John Wayne was an aggressive guy. But he walked right through them. He pushed people to the side. That's an aggressive guy. But the kind of guy that they wanted me to be when I went to ask for a job is that kind of aggression they wanted me to have is, could I be duplicitous? Could I twirl betrayal about? Could I inform on my fellow workers? Would I want to come up and volunteer information that would send him to jail and put me one step further up the ladder? I told them, I'm your guy. I'm the guy you want. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to be given the leash loose on me. So here I am, on the job, ready to do it. And I told the guy, who do I fuck first? Show me who you want me to fuck first and I'll fuck him. The guy says, no, that's too fast. Let's train you first, right? Let's train you and get you to where we can get you to fuck people quickly without any effort. They don't even know they've been hit. And the training program begins a whole new series of thought. The training program for betrayal. Right? How are people trained, man, to betray their friends? To make friends with somebody just so he'll tell me things, so I can tell you, the boss, about them, so I can weed out his character for you that you wouldn't want him working for you. Like he has too many independent thoughts. Machines are what? Machines. Let me think. La gran máquina. What's the machine? Look how many of the machines have been. La máquina de Dios, right? The God's engine. Y mi Jani, that thing that they had on stage, the machine they had on a tragic theater. I mean, the machine appears in a lot of places, right? The grand machine. And right now we're in a historical state of the grand machine, keeping people immortal. The machine, man, can be refined to the point where it can keep people going on forever, never stopping. So what we want is that going on forever guy that will lead the world into a great big bank vault where all the fucking gold is at. And the women will have quieted down by then, and they'll resorted their whole lives because of to fucking and to giving pleasure, and that's it, man. Nothing else and nothing more. Everything will be paid for by somebody else. This is what mankind is looking for, It really is. It's always been looking for that. It's been looking for paradise. It's been looking for heaven.
And somebody to lead them there.
Oh, somebody to lead them there. All cultures of the world have had a leader. India, China, religious leaders, people who led you spiritually from one place to another. The trip Moses took. Isn't it bizarre about Moses? Now you stop and think. He was 40 years lost in the desert. And man, he could tell from where he was at. The sun rises from his right hand and sets at his left hand. He knew exactly where he was at, compass-wise. He knew where he was at. I mean, the worst navigator in the world would have fucking been able to find his way through that. He was lost right in the desert for 40 years. letting the Jew become lascivious as shit, getting the word from the man, the big speech on the hill. But this is what we want to look at now is the leadership of modern man. And the leadership of modern man has to come from some kind of superhero that we have. And he's got to lead the business world, the world that makes the money. So the aggressive character, the virtues of modern man come from what? I mean, we need a box.
Yeah.
That we say this is where this begins at. Where can we say this begins at? When man needed a leader. Man needs a leader. That's why leadership is one of the qualities, one of the virtues. Men, people need a leader. Why? Why do they need a leader? Because he tells them, you folks have been walking this way, and this is the way I'll walk with you. Leaders just get in front of the line. That's all they do. That line is going that way, and they just have enough sense to get in front of it. Like, was Hitler a historical making man? I mean, did he make history? Or was he part of history? Did history make Hitler? Or did Hitler make history? Well, the movement of time allowed Hitler to become. There was something that was needed at that time. There was something that wasn't just needed in Germany. It was something that was needed around Europe. There was still a lot of old heads that were around and needed cleaning up. That's right. And that fire that went through there just created other possibilities to take place. It shifted. The world was never the same after Napoleon, and the world was never the same after Hitler. Hitler and Napoleon are in the same class, man. They were brilliant when they were brilliant, and they were stupid when they were stupid. I mean, grandly stupid, There's great comparisons. During the time, when I was in England, I spent a lot of time reading the old newspapers of the Napoleon period. And, the cartoons, that they had of Napoleon was just the same as they had of Hitler, just bloodthirsty, vindictive, screwball son of a bitch, When Napoleon was fucking knocking kingdoms down, he made himself emperor, he was a genuine screwball. But, in battle, man, he did some brilliant things. And in other things, he did some things that the most stupidest, dumbest person wouldn't have done. So, what was he doing? Well, when the revolution was going on, he turned the cannon the other way, because he was a captain in the artillery, and he turned the cannon the other way and went with the revolution, right? Had he turned it the other way, he'd have been, overcome by the revolution. He turned it against the established order and went with the revolution. So finally, he led the revolution into the tricolor of France, into an imperial France, a France that, rose and her knights went forward and they start conquering, man. He beat everybody, man. For a few years he was just brilliant, couldn't lose. He lost nothing at all. And then the tides changed, the times changed. The ingenuity of new warfare was starting to come in. Heavier guns were being developed. The steam was around at that time. Matter of fact, Lord Nelson wanted to put, as a point of military views and in the ifs of history, Lord Nelson wanted to put steam on the ships, to make steamships, because already the steam engine had been in the last century developed, in the 1700s, right? And now, by the time of the Battle of Trafalgar, steam already was on paddle wheels, and they wanted to develop a fleet that didn't depend on the wind, so they could change naval maneuvers. Before, the wind.
They were dependent on the wind.
They were dependent on the wind, how two fleets meet. Right. But now, if they could control the winds and move into the wind, or downwind or across the winds by using steam power, they had a great advantage. But the old heads didn't want to change. The top people didn't want to change, because it meant changing into something they didn't even have any idea about.
Yeah, pulling their power.
So what it says is that you have to Techni is newborn. It doesn't have a viewpoint. Right? Now, the people who administer to the child is one thing. The people who have lived through that period is something else. So, like when they developed sailing ships of that class, they developed also different kind of skills for sailing these ships. And at that time, they actually thought that the wind pushed the sail. But the wind doesn't push the sail. It creates a vacuum outside the sail, and it sucks it. But they didn't discover that till they discovered why airplanes fly, really. Because a wing is really a sail, but it's horizontal, right?
Oh, we did.
Right? It's really a sail. Because if you stood it up, that curve that it has is the luff of the sail, right? So when the sail luffs like that, it has an air vacuum on the outside of the sail, on the outside of it, that actually sucks it through. So the more, it looks like it's being pushed, but what it creates is the wind's on this side, there's a equal amount on the other side that's a vacuum. Then it's sucking it, see? It's not pushing it, it's pulling it. Like a horse doesn't pull a wagon, it pushes a wagon. The horse can't pull nothing. A horse couldn't pull that telephone.
That's right. It pushes the bar.
It pushes on the traces, right?
Yeah, right.
Pushes out forward. So, I mean, at that time, they didn't think that, so they mounted a lot of sail on the ships. And like the Victory, Lord Nelson's flagship, it had a 180-foot bowsprit. 180 feet. Filled with sails, man.
Jesus.
That's the bowsprit only going up. That's not his mizzen mast and all his masts. So they carried a lot of sail because they thought more sail would get them going. And when the wind blew, these guys would sail sidewards even, They'd sail off course for miles. They couldn't sail straight. But the point was that they didn't allow him to change. Had he been able to change, then the history of the world would have been a totally different fucking thing today,
Yeah.
Totally different. I mean, England would have changed world history to be able to do that, to be able to conquer all the fleets. She'd have owned the fucking oceans for 1,000 years, But things change. Now where we're at is the following. Because of profit and competition from other places, you saw communism come apart right now. The mentality of that is there. What it is, the way of doing business is not. I mean, the Russians will always be Russian. Communism, they're going to keep parts of it and other parts they're going to throw away. The way it works in the world market, they're going to throw away because they can't afford it anymore. The Russian people want things. And they ain't got no fucking things to buy and no money to buy it with. It's the Russian people who want TVs, automobiles. They want VCRs. They want what they know the West has. They know they have it, man. They're not stupid. They want a TV in their house. So where's the genealogy of the virtues? I mean, you could see that man's needs that we created. Man's needs, man. Like man's needs today does not correspond to the needs of man in Athens in 450 BC or 500 BC. That which man needed to equate himself then don't exist anymore.
Yeah, right. Like what you're saying about the Russians. The Russians need the VCRs and the TVs.
That's right, man.
Which we've got.
Oh yeah, they want that shit. It's the people who want that shit. So they figure like this: it's good because we can stimulate an economy. These people will eat more, less problems. You know why they don't want? You think Russia's backwards? You know what Georgia is like, or Bessarabia is like? I mean, these places that they call part of the Russian Republic. You got any fucking idea what these places look like?
I really don't know.
With third world nations, my asshole, they look worse than third world nations, man. Like Armenia. If you went to Armenia, you'd say this is impossible, man. I mean, how can people? It looks like Mexico, only older. It does. It looks like Mexico any older. I mean, you don't have the panhandling in the streets and crap like that, but you can see poverty, man. By the people, the things they have. I mean, toilet paper. What toilet paper, man? You fucking. There's a stick in the toilet, and a bucket of water, and the stick's got a rag on it. And you take that stick off and you shake it in a bucket of water and you wash your ass after you take a shit. What toilet? Toilet? There's a hole in the ground, man. That's where you shit or piss or whatever. The places all smell from urine, man. You have no idea what I'm talking about. You mean they want to keep places like that alive? The Russians want that shit? Russia itself, White Russia, wants these people? They've been wanting to get rid of these bastards for years. They were just connected in some kind of strange us against them fucking attitude, you know? Like Stalin was a Georgian, right? The Russians can't stand the Georgians. They're semi-Orientals. They are. Look at fucking Stalin's face.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh yeah, that part of Russia, they say you scratch a Russian up there and he's a Tartar. You know, he's a Tartar. He's
I don't know the expression.
Tartar is that area of Asia, Central Asia. The Mongols. You know, the Tartars belong all up there in that area, in Central Asia. They're semi-Orientals. They are Orientals. They look like Tibetans. They look like they're nomadic. Something like Mexicans. Yeah, but not as fine featured, more flat featured. Mongolians. You ever see Mongolians?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Tartars. They run all of Central Asia. There, they're nomads, and their cities are built with nomadic intelligence, with nomadic viewpoint. I mean, can you imagine a nomad for hundreds of years, all of a sudden putting them in cities? I mean, now think of an architect who has the mentality of a nomad. What kind of architecture does he do?
Portable.
Small.
Portable, yeah, right. I mean, architecture that looks like it's going to leave any minute.
The mobile home, the van will go for big there.
Yeah. I mean, it's... You see? So, I mean, the virtues of mankind are dependent on certain conditions of that time. And these conditions today, the virtues that we have here today are virtues that were very necessary, like aggression is an extremely important one. But where do they come from? Well, where's the how far back can we go to make this genealogy? Come on. How far back can we go?
I guess from when they first started getting together, man started getting together.
We can go back to when man split from woman and began dominating, took over the dominance. What about there?
It has to go back somewhere where there was an ethos, there was an ethic, there was a teleology to the development of man's character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, to that point. I mean, it has to go that far. It has to go that way. It has to go to what? The classical period.
Classical period.
Yeah.
Quickly, yeah. Not pre-classical because they weren't together.
Yeah, it's classical period.
In Civilis, right, when they got together.
Yeah. Well, they were together in pre-classical time. The only thing is that the thoughts now evolved.
Yeah.
The development of reason became to where it could be written down. Right, so the virtues we have two sets of virtues. We have the virtues that are classical virtues, and we have the virtues of modern day man. And in between, man, these are just church virtues without that added what? That added
temperance.
Yeah.
Modesty, humility.
Humility. So we didn't get too much by them. So the church view of man and
those are very important to the development of authority, though.
Yeah, and
if I might interject.
The what?
The church view, church virtues in the middle were very important to the development and maintenance of authority.
Mm-hmm.
The development and maintenance of authority?
Yeah.
The bootlicker, the development of the bootlicker attitude.
Oh, yeah.
The subservient, the worker. The shuffler.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there was that period there. So we have now the modern. So we have classical, church, and modern, straight down the fucking line. And then if we open up the classical one, we have the classical virtues. Oh, what a beautiful piece of absurdity, man. It really is all drawn out. So the classical virtues, and then the modern
So would
virtues.
you enumerate just?
Honor, duty, wisdom, courage. To what? Temperance, humility. There was a third. Didn't the church give us a third? My God, they did. They must have. I know.
Yeah, that's what they gave us.
Humility and
Temperance, yeah. So duplicity, betrayal, is very important to modern virtue, where it was unheard of in the past, man. Betrayal and virtue together. Are you crazy? Don't you see what we're saying? We're contradicting the basic fiber, man, of the fucking Western world. The betrayal is perfectly legit. That duplicity is the la gran máquina de Dios, God's grand machine. Duplicity. When animals have it, they survive. I mean, it means two-facedness. It means two of anything, right? It comes from the Greek word diplo. It means to fold. But when you fold, you have two things that you fold, don't you? When you fold, immediately you set up two. Don't you? I mean, if you take a piece of paper and fold it, it what? It creates two parts, don't it? So if you were to do a face here and a face there, even if it was the same face, when you folded the paper, you had two-facedness, right? Next to each other. So that's what it means. Diplosis, from the word diplosis, to fold together. But see, in classical times, in pre-classical times, it had a different meaning altogether than it does today.
Yeah, we think he's bullshitting us.
Yeah, but what we're saying is now we need a man who can bullshit us. We need him. But the thing is this, like a good actor, we don't want to be able to see it. We know it is. We just don't want to see it. We want the seams, like fine craftsmanship on a violin or a guitar. You never see where they've been joined at, Like it's been just, poured like that. You don't see where things come together at on fine craftsmanship. The line of marriage is invisible. Right? That's good craftsmanship. Man. So our lines have to be invisible where they join at. Huh?
Gotcha. And we're calling for that too. The guy that bothers us is the guy that reveals he's been shown up to be duplicitous. His lines are not invisible. It's clear that he's not what he says he is, or what he's purporting to be.
Yeah, and he's saying that he's not duplicitous instead of saying I am. I am duplicitous. It's a very necessary thing in modern times to be duplicitous. Without duplicity, that's the talk show I want to get on. Duplicity is a very important thing in modern times. Has nothing to do with lying. It has to do with two-facedness, two of anything. I mean, you must, like a good poker player, he doesn't show his hand. He has a hand, and he makes you assume he has another hand. Now, how he makes you assume that, the finer the acting ability of the poker player, the better poker player he is. So, not necessarily that good actors make good poker players, but you have to be a good actor to be a good poker player. Okay, so that two-facedness, I see that in many of God's creatures, that two-facedness. The survival of a priest requires that he's fully aware of the devil. St. Augustine was. Many men lived a duplicitous life. And their duplicity developed the strength that they needed to do the things that they wanted to do. Right? I mean, Luther was a very duplicitous man.
So instead of destroying them, it actually aided them, strengthened them.
Yeah, Luther was the cause of thousands, hundreds of thousands of fucking peasants being killed in Germany. And the crowd decides.
Yes. Always the crowd decides.
That's right.
That's where it's best. That's where it's real.
The crowd decides. So the crowd has to decide what is real, what's right.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd decides. The accusation is made, or is it an accusation? That modern man needs duplicity to survive. Does he check?
Yeah, is it an accusation? No, it isn't an accusation. It's just we're in effect calling. Wait a minute.
Huh?
Wait a minute there. You're on something, man. That's excellent. It's a wake up call to modern man. Because he's running from admitting being duplicitous. You know, that's.
Oh yeah, all this male bonding and all that shit.
Oh,
To
yeah.
me, that's just bullshit. It really is. It's just another fucking way these assholes are making bucks, and these assholes are following them right
Oh,
along.
yeah, happily paying 100.
Oh yeah, they just want another place to meet friends instead of bars or jumping up and down gyms and places like that. They meet each other there. It makes for the old YMCA's, you know, and you know the old pool halls and shit like that. And if you can afford it, and other relationships under the guise of friendship are created. See, under the guise of friendship is just part of it too. You know, it's paper thin. Modern friendship is paper thin. It's meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
It's a meaningless term in modern times, the same as all that other stuff that shit is. Because nobody can really remember you. They can't remember your name, though they call you friend, you know. How you doing, friend? You know, what the...
It takes 5 minutes to call somebody a friend.
Yeah, because it's meaningless, the fucking term. He's my friend. We were friends. How long did you know each other? Well, not too long.